Hello everyone, welcome to the official product review of the Kabuki Strength Cadillac Bar, the single greatest bench press bar in the world. I love this thing. I've used it for years, always been a really big fan of it. I think the design of this is just outstanding, the way that it's used for the strength of the chest, the upper body, and the ability to save the shoulders from any kind of pre-existing injury or any kind of pain going forward. It really, really is an elite addition to the Iron Throne, and I'm just super happy to have it. Okay. So let's get into this. Any of you who have followed the channel for any length of time, you'll know that we do our product reviews based on pricing, quality, usage, footprint, and customer service. So let's kick it right off with price. This thing is $500. So that should really come as no surprise to anyone. This is a specialty bar, and especially it is a specialty bar made by Kabuki Strength. Kabuki Strength is the leading industry specialty bar creator. They are outstanding. They are perhaps rivaled by Elite FTS, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, I really don't think there's a better alternative. This is the way to go if you are looking to just kind of spare no expense and you want to get the best. I highly recommend Kabuki. So let's talk about the actual way that this is designed to help you. I mentioned the saving of the shoulders, and I want to make sure that I dig into that a bit. So the first thing you'll notice is that you have 3 hand placement positions here: wide, mid, and narrow. Now, this is all going to depend on what it is you're trying to hit, and frankly, whatever kind of injuries you may or may not be working with, find the one that works best for you. Treat that as your bench press. I like the wide and I like the mid. Those are probably the 2 ones that I use the most. If I go narrow, you're by nature going to be hit a little bit more triceps, more the center of the chest. But really and truly, you want to play around and experiment with all 3. They're all very, very good. Now, the bar itself is covered in this very, very dense powder coating, which provides a really, really good grip strength for the bar itself. I love this from this bar. It's one of the few bars I've ever found that has this. It's almost like a sandpaper grip. Very, very cool, and it just feels really good in your hands. Furthermore, the 3 hand placement positions that you see here are designed specifically with the safety of your wrists in mind. They're not straight up and down like I see in a lot of like the football bar or a lot of the other types of specialty bars for bench press that are parallel. These are not, strictly speaking, parallel. They are, but they're at a bit of an angle, and you will see that once you start playing around with this, that's not an accident. It's a perfectly designed angle for your wrists, which translates to your elbows, your shoulders, and ultimately the safety of the entire bench press movement as you do it. Okay, so the second thing I want to point out with the design of the bar is this camber. You can see when I tilt this bar up that it has a nice arch to it. That is also by design by Kabuki. They did that on purpose. So when doing bench press with this, you're going to notice immediately this is not your bench press weight. Excuse me, this is not your competition bench press weight. You are going to be cutting that number down. If your max bench is 315, you ain't going to be doing 315 with the Kabuki bar. The Kabuki bar is difficult. The first thing I'll say is that it's a tempo trainer. When you are doing this, you are not going to be exploding off your chest like you would be with a traditional bench press bar. You are going to be you're going to want to go slow, very slow. And furthermore, you're going to want the bottom part of the camber bar to touch your chest, not the whole thing. If the whole bar touches my chest, most likely I had to angle it in order to do so, and that's going to put my wrist in a compromised position. So just touch the bottom of the bar to your chest, come up slow, and go down slow. That's very, very important. Okay, so let me get into, I touched on this quite a bit just by talking just now, but the quality of this bar. That's the second category that I've kind of been unpacking. It's high. It's a high score. It's a 9.2. This is a Kabuki Strength bar. I don't think I would say a single bar by Kabuki Strength is going to be outside of the 9s or the 10s. It really is. They're the best in the world at this particular design and at this kind of exercise equipment. So they win. At least as far as I'm concerned, it's the best bang for your buck. You will pay a lot for your price, which is, as I mentioned, $500. So is it worth it? To me, it is. You're going to have to make that distinction on your own. But again, price, $500. I'm going to give that a 7.6. Quality, I'm going to give it a 9.2. So those are the first 2 categories. Next, we have usage. Now, this was a category on this particular bar that I really had to contemplate because the truth of the matter is this is not a multi-purpose barbell in the way that perhaps a straight bar would be. It is limited by the nature of its design for what you can do with it. Now, it's not limited to only bench press. You can certainly do bent over rows, you can do curls, you can do a lot of different things with it, but it is limited in relation to other bars. But what it does do, it does the best. So keeping all that in mind, I'm going to give it a 6.4 for the usage score. It's the best in the world at what it is it's trying to do, but it's really only limited to 2 or possibly 3 different movement patterns. So keep that in mind when you buy this. If you're buying this for bench press to save your shoulders, go for it. This is the way to go. If you're buying this in exchange of a normal barbell for your gym, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Get yourself a straight bar, a nice Ohio power bar. Get something that is multi-purpose before you get this. But this would be probably the first, or maybe this, I don't know. It's between this, the trap bar, or the transformer bar, all by Kabuki, that I would say for your first specialty bar you should get. But this would be up there. For a bench press bar that's specialty, go Kabuki, go Cadillac. Let's talk about footprint. So, with all specialty barbells, they are by nature of design large items. They are big, they are bulky, they are heavy, they are bigger than your traditional straight bar. The Cadillac bar, the Kabuki Cadillac bar is no exception. It's big, it's heavy, and it's going to require storage. You're going to need a place to put this. I do not recommend storing it how I have it here on display. I would get yourself a little floor storage unit, something with some holes, something that is sturdy and firm, maybe even something you could bolt into the ground. Get yourself that. You're going to need it in order to get this because it does have a footprint to contend with. To account for that, I gave it a 6.8. 6.8 for the footprint, just acknowledging the fact that it is big, bulky, and heavy. You're going to need to have a place to put it. Okay, customer service. Another category where Kabuki Strength really does hit it out of the park. They have taken great pains to ensure that the education around their products is as good as the products themselves. Bravo to Kabuki. We can take a little minute and just talk about how good they've done. One of the best companies at this particular area. That's why we're so happy to be partnering up with them. They're a great company. They've done an awesome job educating the public. They care about the public. I can tell they care about their products. They have home gym creators and gym owners and athletes all in mind when they create their products. They know who they're selling to and they know what they're doing. Bravo to Kabuki. I will give you an 8.1 for customer service. I think I gave you right around the same score when I did the Transformer Bar review. More than happy to give it for this as well. Again, your company is old faithful. It's always the same. It's doing great. You guys are building and you're growing. Very happy for you. So the total score for the Kabuki Strength Cadillac Bench Press Bar is a 7.62. 7.62. Very good score. Very good barbell. Limited, relatively speaking, on the amount of usage that you can perform. Very, very important to account for the square footage of the size of the bar when you are storing it. Other than that, it's an outstanding product. It's incredible at what it does, and it's ran by an incredible company. Well done.